Hello, my name is Matt Owen, for those of you who do not know me, and I am running on the Republican ticket for City Council at large. Going around door to door, knocking on doors, the first thing I always get is, "You're old enough to run?" Yes, in fact I am. They ask, sometimes I get, "What high school do you go to?" Not in high school anymore. Those were simpler days, but we've moved past that. Actually, high school, though, speaking of, was really when I got involved and interested in our local politics. I've always been, watching national politics and had my own opinions. But in high school, I got involved with the broadcasting program there. And I thought that that's what I was going to do. I was going to go to Ball State and work in video production, and may or may not come back to Jeffersonville. That changed. While I was in the production program there, I took an assignment to cover the Jeffersonville City Council. It was right after you guys came in, I think. They were still joking on you about being new. But I watched the City Council meetings, produced all of the meetings for the TV station, WJHS 25. So I was always there. I was always paying attention and hearing what everybody had to say. While I was doing that, we expanded our coverage to cover some of the other special meetings, the zoning board meetings. We've done every canal meeting that we've been invited to, and I guess I've been involved in that for about three to 4 years now. And I still go in and volunteer for them and help out if I need to, if they're short sometimes. But in doing that, that's really how I went from going to Ball State and being in production. I wanted to go into some kind of video production. I went from that to, well, I already had this love for national politics, and then seeing how it works on a local level and seeing how we really are a lot more impacted than I would have thought in high school, it really changed my motivation. So needless to say, now I am at IU Southeast. I am studying political science there. I serve there in the Student Senate. I serve as the Vice Chair of the Student Senate right now. I'm nominated for the chair's position that will come up in a couple of weeks. And through IUS, when I say I serve on the Student Senate, that means I have a constituency of about 7,000 students. When someone my age doesn't like what you do, they tell you. So I deal with the criticism, and we deal with recommendations to the administration, and we do that sort of thing all the time. That's what I already do. And I've been, like I said, I've been going to these council meetings and some of these other special meetings, so I've been paying attention, and I watch, and I see what they do. And a couple of times I get up and say something, and sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't get up in a meeting. But going back to IUS, not only serving in the chair position or in the Senate position gives me a little bit of legislative experience, I've also represented IU Southeast in January to a conference that was put on by the Commission on Higher Education. If you don't know, the Commission on Higher Education is a 13-member commission that makes recommendations about funding to the governor, about how we're funding our state's colleges and universities. That was a huge eye-opener to me on the work that we do on our state and local governments as far as funding for our colleges. They're completely overhauling how they're funding all of our buildings and how they're funding all of our colleges, which directly impacts us and our tuition. I can say that I have no regrets. Ball State is a beautiful campus. They have a new David Letterman building there, but I have no regrets staying here. Jeffersonville has been excellent to me. It has always been my home. I live on Charlestown Pike, between 265 and Utica-Sellersburg Road. My family has been there for about 60 years with about 15 acres on either side of the street, and I don't plan to leave here. Actually, I considered, the economy has been terrible, and the housing prices have been way down, which has actually been a good thing for me because I can consider actually buying a house at my age. I was pre-approved to buy a house over on Penn Street that was foreclosed on, and then I saw that the sewer rates were going way up. I said, no thank you, I'll have an apartment. It's just, I can't do that right now, and that's a shame. That might be one reason why we don't have more people moving downtown, and I think that certainly needs to be addressed. I won't take up too much more time here, but as I was saying, I live out on Charlestown Pike. I decided to run at large because I knew that with our new classification system, there would be a third at large seat opening up, and I think it's very important that the city utilize those 3 at large positions. At any given time, you should have 4 people that sit on the city council that you can call. You have 1 person that represents your district, and you have 3 people that represent the entire city. And that's exactly what they're supposed to do. You need to make sure that you are holding those people accountable to what your needs are, and what your concerns are, because they do represent us all. So, I'll go sit there.